The Nerlin Nerds podcast is brought to you by The Goddamn Sauce. Go to thegdsauce.com for details to order all the sauces to replace your ordinary condiments. Pulpery Media presents Nerlin Nerds with your hosts, Brock and Ben. This is where we discuss the pop culture topics that interest us and those minor details that irritate us.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and Michael Colt is,
Nice.
they had a bet. Sorry, real quick, I gotta do this. If the Knicks won...
McAfee would be wearing a Knicks jersey.
No, he had to wear a suit. Because he never wears a fucking suit. But if the Pacers won, Cole had to announce in a Pacers jersey. And sure enough, he did it. Good job. All right, we knew that the museum episode, the breather between... What was the cliffhanger before the museum episode? She had just murdered that woman with a... Nora?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
With a lead pipe.
Right, in the basement of the hospital.
Right.
Yeah.
So then they gave us the breather. That's when we finally saw Ellie snap, like full-blown.
Like Joel.
Right.
Yeah.
Like he does in episode 1 of season 1. You remember when he beats that guy up with his bare hands?
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
This episode was perfect. I always wondered how they were going to do it. But you can't have the whole episode of the museum, right?
No. Yeah.
Not enough
it's not
content.
That long.
But the way they did her 16th birthday leading up to that was fucking brilliant.
No, I agree. Yeah. And that, I mean, they also, kind of answered a couple of new questions with new characters. And we got a fucking Joey Pants cameo.
Yep.
It's fucking love it whenever he shows up, although he didn't call anybody a hooer. But
no, he didn't. He didn't. So I was like, wait a minute, he didn't? No. Hooer.
Well, my fault, she's a whore.
I live. So I really like that touch. Like the first one was him building the guitar.
Yeah.
Excellent. I love that he used a Dremel, and I love that he said it's a really versatile tool, because I just had this conversation with somebody like 6 weeks ago. Dead ass serious. It was probably one of my father-in-laws.
Yeah.
Very versatile tool, and Joel shows us how. Very intricate butterfly or moth, firefly, whatever that was.
Moth, yeah.
Perfect. So he gives it to her, and then it just progressively gets... She turns 16, but you also see the relationship of... Not 60, she turns 16 each year. No, it's her birthday each year. The relationship between them two, at first it's like father-son, father-daughter, she's stoked. And then you could tell the distance between them is getting... And then they show us in the next episode why. Well done.
Yeah. Well, I like it too.
And again, this none of that was in the game.
No, I mean the museum sequence was in there,
but not the birthdays leading up to it.
No, and I can't remember if their conversation about Salt Lake City happened as they were leaving the museum in the video game. I mean, you played it more recently.
When they're on the porch.
Well, in the show, it's on the porch. I thought they were like on the outside of the museum, sitting.
Nah.
Yeah, but
because the porch scene is exactly how Game 2 ends.
Yeah.
With that porch scene.
Yeah.
Which is at the end of this episode.
Right.
Yeah, the timeline's different, but we all get to the same place. But they put the porch scene in there. If you watch it afterwards, like, everybody was crying because they fucking nailed it. And I had just finished the game, so they did word for word. I think I saw a split screen of game versus the TV show, and it was perfect. And I'm not saying it needed to be, but they hit every note in that, every single note.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I like it when they do that, and either I remember it, or like you say, the people put it up on social media side by side, because Well, and we'll get to that later, but like if you're seeing it like, oh, it's near exact like the game except for like a couple of these flourishes.
We'll get to another one in the next episode.
Then all these other people who are nitpicking it to death
can go fuck themselves.
Right. Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Perfect example of Jesse.
Yeah.
The father of Dora the Explorer's baby.
Yeah.
They gave him a backstory in the final episode.
Yeah.
Like he got to explain or voice why he is the way he is. Where in the video game, he's just like background character. He's the father of the kid. He gets shot in the face. Spoiler alert. But they did that. Like, excellent.
Yeah. No, I mean,
not something I knew I needed, but I'm glad I got it.
Well, and I think it added gravitas to
when it actually happened.
Well, and that he's was essentially saying like it doesn't, because they keep tiptoeing around him, and he's like, it doesn't fucking bother me because I know like I don't love her the way that you love her, because I know what that love is, and that was this chick that passed through who had terrible landscape paintings.
Yep.
And so yeah, and you're right. Like in the game, like Jesse's just sort of this poor schlub.
Right.
Who's being
cool. He's really good out on the trails.
But he's being cuckolded constantly.
Hi, Stephanie. Correct. And I loved it. Plus, it packs more punch when he gets shot in the face.
Yeah.
And they did a very Lost thing where like they will concentrate on a character and then murder that character.
Yeah.
When it's not, when you see an episode like the one with the spider that paralyzes him.
Yeah, Nikki and Paolo.
Thank you, Paolo. Yeah. Like that.
Yeah.
Like they concentrated on them, and then guess what? They fucking died, and they did that a lot.
Yeah, like they teased them over like 3 episodes.
Correct.
And then
like,
when you
finally get their episode, because that's how Lost was, they kill them off.
They're buried alive.
But they got their farewell, the send-off, as it were.
Well, and that was, and we've talked about when we agonizingly went back through Lost.
Yes.
And I mean that's a breather episode.
Correct. Exactly.
Just a palate cleanser before you go deep diving in, and
they went balls to the wall in the final episode.
I had forgotten it was fucking Abby who comes back into the theater and shoots Jesse in the face.
Yeah.
And I'm still at that point where like I know what Druckmann was trying to do in the game and what all of next season is going to be, which is trying to redeem Abby.
Nope,
and
everybody's going to hate watch.
Yeah. Well, and the thing, I mean, with the game, it's so fluid. You're still playing with the memory of Joel.
Right.
And they're.
I saw next season, Joel's not gone. They've clearly established that they can do flashbacks and all this stuff. But I'm glad that they've come out and said that Pedro is definitely still part of the story, and you will definitely see him.
Well, I mean,
as well as
everybody
other,
loves him. Yeah.
Well, of course. Yeah. As well as other characters who are dead. Confirmed dead. We'll say that.
But that, I mean, just in the video game, they kind of address it not so as head on as they have in the TV show of is Joel right for doing what he did? I think Druckmann did the video game knowing like that's the position he put you in, and so you're going to be on Joel's side.
I was going to get to it. I'm glad you brought it up, so we'll just go there now.
Yeah.
I hope you do a little bit better than me.
Right. Oh.
Brother, oh my fucking God. That cut deep at the beginning.
Yeah.
When his dad was telling him that as he's saving his little brother from getting the shit beat out of him. Tommy. We all know who Tommy is. And then him having the exact same conversation with Ellie, knowing that she's about to be a dad.
Yeah.
Sorry, she said it herself.
Yeah.
She's going to be a dad.
But she really is now that Jesse's gone.
Well, yeah. Cut. Yeah.
No, I mean
that was.
And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon.
It was fantastic storytelling. Again, we didn't know any of that shit. Nothing.
No, well,
we were introduced to Joel when Sarah is murdered. That's it.
Yeah.
And then the game jumps forward to we're ass deep in the pandemic, the fucking...
I was going to say, like, even in the video game, like, it's not a lot every now, but there's like 1 or 2 points where they drop a little bit about Joel's background, like...
Right.
And even Tommy, like, serving in the Gulf War.
Yep, which is why he's so good at what they do. It's not like, Joel's a carpenter, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
He's Jesus then.
It's not like he's a Jason Statham movie.
Right.
Like
he's not fucking John Wick.
Yeah.
Retired. Right. And his daughter gets killed like John Wick's, dog. Do you know Nicolas Cage has a movie called Pig where his pig gets murdered and he goes John Wick?
Yeah.
It's on streaming. I saw it the other day. I had no idea. I'm gonna watch it. Right. So is Joel the good person?
Well, I think in the end,
who's really the good guy? Or everybody has justifications
I don't think,
for their...
I mean, it's very much like I always think of them as like, Clint Eastwood westerns. Like, nobody's good. There's no good.
Right, exactly.
There's no good versus bad. It's like, you're all horrible people.
You're all Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah. But, at the same time as that, we've talked about this several times, particularly in the first season. And I think it's the genius of the game, and they encapsulated it in the first season, which in following the characters and that. So even me, somebody who doesn't have their own children, at the end of that game, I'm on Joel's side. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
There's all these question marks about...
They hammered that home. I love it when she said he killed everyone in that hospital.
Yeah.
And he did.
Well, in the video game, when you get good at it, you take your time.
That last time I played through it, it took me forever to do it.
Yeah. But
because
you get everybody.
Wanted to get everybody.
Yeah.
Like, slowly.
But, just that basic idea of, like, even if it's adoptive or whatever, like, if you identify that person as your child, you will do anything and everything to protect them.
Yep.
And I think everybody got that. That's a universal message. And then that's why Joel's death, even with Abby's explanations, is still, like, it's shocking and it's terrible, because you're going, like, he at least had good motivations.
Right. His intentions were pure.
Right.
To him, like, the justification in his mind. And I think more people can square that with themselves.
Right, versus just straight up revenge.
Revenge, which is what we're going to get since Joel died. That's all. Spoiler alert, it's all about revenge at this point.
Yeah.
And who can accept what has happened.
Right.
As opposed to, like, being laser focused on, I need to get back at this entity that caused that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I hate to say this, but, violence begets violence, right? It's the whole, like, gang warfare, like, you shoot my brother, I'm going to shoot your... War's the same way. Like, you bomb my plane, I'm going to bomb yours.
Let's put it into modern day terms. When John Cena won his record-breaking title, and Michael Cole had to point out to everybody that Ric Flair didn't win every belt clean.
Right. So, no.
Not everybody... No one is purely altruistic.
Nope, not even God. He wiped out the world with a flood.
Yeah.
So, and a whole slew of other things. Right. But we'll just keep it simple.
Yeah, stick with that.
Right. And I guess Joel's journey was fantastic, and now we're going to get to see basically his journey V2 with Ellie.
Yeah.
Which is what we saw.
The following segment has been brought to you by The Goddamn Sauce. Go to thegdsauce.com for details to order all the sauces to replace your ordinary condiments. The Nerla Nerds podcast is a production of Pulpery Media, produced and edited by Ben Grimion, marketing by Brock Ryder, graphic design by Beck Ryder and Ben Grimion, music by the Heisenberg Compensators.